Hey everyone, my name is Shelley Bow, and I'm here tonight to talk about a really serious topic. And again, as always, I plan to have some fun with this. It's not always easy having fun on a topic that you feel so passionate about and you find so serious. And at the same time, um, with any luck at all, we'll be able to throw in a couple of jokes. I have live transcript on tonight. Thought it would be interesting to see what this does. You never know. It could be great for some people, especially people who have difficulty with hearing. So I thought I'd give it a try, something new. What have we got to lose? I'm also going to go live on Facebook. So if you're watching this, I would encourage all of you to make sure and go to my Facebook page, Shelley Bow, Chele, and just share that out with friends if you want to, because I think it's one way for all of us to be able to get the information out in an efficient way. A lot of people, they're not going to jump on a Zoom link, but they'll jump on a Facebook Live link. So it is a rainy, dreary day today. So what a great day to be able to talk about a topic like mental health and finding balance in the world that we live in. So my name is Shelley Bow. I'm the wife of one, mother of three, grandmother of four so far. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in organizational communications, public relations, and psychology. I'm a certified weight management coach, a certified nutraceutical consultant, and have been for goodness, it's got to be 14 years, and a certified product specialist for over 14 years. Been working in the world of health and wellness for about 23 years and moved into that world because of my passion for health and wellness. Now, again, coming from the background that I do, you can imagine I have an extreme passion for stress, mental health, and the aging brain. I really believe that if we could start early in life looking at how we could proactively and preventatively handle some of the situations that we're going through in our life, some of the traumas, the tragedies that we're going through, and handle them from a more healthful standpoint, and perhaps do better by our body throughout our process and our journey toward aging, we would have a better aging experience. So tonight, really, I want to encompass everything from young to those of us who are past the halfway mark to those of you who are moving toward the 100-year mark. So I must say the FDA has not evaluated the statements that I'm about to make. So I'll be talking about and referencing some products tonight. I am not here to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any disease state for you. I am here to talk about stress. So let's talk about stress, baby. Let's talk about you and me. So stress is the reaction people have when they have excessive pressure outside of themselves, when it becomes too much and they feel they can't honestly cope. And keyword, they feel they can't honestly cope. Okay. I'm not a big proponent of the word I can't, yet I understand that we all reach that point where it seems like too much, where the wear and tear and the stress that we feel from the things that our bodies are going through just feels like too much. So SPR, stress occurs when the pressure is greater than the resources. So perhaps we just don't have great resources, tools, or coping mechanisms. And I believe a person's perception of what they're facing has a lot to do with this. The language that we're feeding ourselves, the experiences we've had growing up, the things we've been taught, and how we become well and how we balance ourselves through stressful situations has a lot to do with us as adults. Now, we can all admit that it has been a very interesting and challenging year and a half, where that oftentimes in this last year and a half, people do feel that the pressures or the outside pressures are exceeding their well-being, and their well-being is being threatened, and they're living in a state of fear. And I continue to preach faith over fear, faith over fear, faith over fear, meditate, pray, take care of yourself. Stress can throw the whole body out of balance, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. See, we have distress and we have eustress. Some stress is good, right? It helps us to be more excited, alert, energy. It helps us to go after things in life. However, what I've seen oftentimes in people's lives is that they live distressed and repressed. Distressed and repressed. And what we're seeing is that people are feeling overwhelmed. They feel out of control. And when you value safety and certainty, control is a big deal to you. So we need to support people in feeling safe, in feeling that they have survival intact, so they can then thrive. And that's when eustress actually comes into play, and it can be a very good thing. So we want to have a balance between distress, repressed, and eustress. Stressors that we face. Stressors definitely contribute to many different things. And I really, really believe, guys, we all know this deep down. We know when we get those headaches or those knots or the tension, or we're clenching our jaw, or our tummy is upset, or, our skin is angry at us, or we can't sleep well, or you feel your tummy like the ulcers that are forming. You know that stress is detrimental to your health. I do believe, however, you don't yet believe that good balance, healthy lifestyle can support you in taking care of it. Most often, we live in society where people believe that if they just take a magic pill, that will be the answer. And I don't believe that is the answer. I believe we have to look at a more holistic approach. When you're undergoing excessive, prolonged, unrelieved negative stress, it will have and it will take a toll on your mental health. There is no question. Your mental health becomes your physical health becomes your mental health, and the two together become your spiritual health. Your reality is, your personality is your personal reality. Again, your personality is your personal reality. So what life is realistically to you. Stress can have a positive effect. It can spur motivation. It can help you feel aware. It can help you feel excited about life. And a lot of that, again, is the language that you're speaking to yourself. When you are in a situation, you have the choice to say, I'm either nervous and anxious, or you have the choice to say, I'm very excited about this. And I choose to say I'm excited because the body doesn't know the difference. It's you who has trained your brain to believe this is distress versus eustress. So we need to take a look seriously at what is happening to our society, because many of us are not just experiencing some stress, which would be acute stress, which would be your biosurvival need, which would be what's there when you're running from a tiger. Many of you have gone above and beyond, and you're living in a state of chronic stress where all of a sudden you can't remember things, you can't retain information, you're feeling lost, you're feeling like you're aging, and you blame it on aging, no matter what age you are, or you blame it on whatever situation you're in life. But what if I were to tell you that there might be a way to support the brain, that you don't have to have those issues happening? Digestive health issues. Whenever we look at brain health, we need to connect that to gut health, because the vagus nerves runs directly between the two. That communication happens all day, every day. We experience weight gain. We experience heart issues, high blood pressure. We experience sleep issues. Our skin is screaming that it's unhealthy. Our body is screaming at us that it needs our help, and we just try to cover it up and put a Band-Aid on it. I'm here tonight to tell you, you can only live so long in that state of stress. We've got to do something about this. Emotional indicators. If you're wondering, am I undergoing stress? And maybe I'm so used to living this way, I don't even know that I'm stressed. What if you just took a look at a simple list like, okay, am I irritable? Am I easily agitated? Do I feel frustrated, moody? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Do I have difficulty relaxing? Do I have difficulty just keeping a cool head about things? Do I have low self-esteem, low self-worth issues? Do I feel lonely overall, worthless, depressed? A lot of times, guys, I'm experiencing more and more of this, where I have been believing that people are experiencing depression. And I'm now starting to wonder if it's really repression, if it's really experiences that have happened to us in our past. And unfortunately, it's stored in our subconscious mind. And again, unfortunately, we're living with that as our reality. So basically, we are living in our past every day into our future until we do something about it. But how do you do something about it if you don't even feel like it? That's why I'm here tonight, to talk about how I can support you in feeling like being well. Cognitive indicators of stress would be constant worrying, racing thoughts. You're forgetting things. You become disoriented. You can't concentrate on things. You feel like you're all over the place and you can't seem to get organized. Inability to focus, lack of self-care. All of a sudden, it's 5 days and you haven't showered yet. Now, if you're a new mom or the mom of more than 2 children, understandable, right? It may be 5 days, you're forgiven. How about mental slowness and poor judgment, becoming very pessimistic, almost judgmental and critical of others? When we are in an unhappy state with ourselves, oftentimes we like to put that on others because it takes and distracts and deflects from what the real issues are, right? And then we start to procrastinate a lot. So again, when you don't feel like it, and how do we support you in feeling like it? That's what we're going to talk about. But when you don't feel like it, it's very hard to get past yourself. And that becomes the greatest issue. It isn't the outside things you're facing, it's the internal thought processes you're facing. What are physical indicators of stress? Maybe you're feeling fatigue, low energy, you have head discomfort. Maybe your digestive health, you either have diarrhea or you're constipated, clenching your jaw, you're the person that wakes up in the morning having bitten your tongue all night or biting your cheeks at night, or you notice you get sick often, your immune system is always compromised. Stress will do that to you. You're not sleeping well. You have irregular sleep patterns. You have no sexual desire. Why? Well, I wonder, when your stress hormones are high, it's hard to have a sex drive, right? Nervousness and sensitivity. So these are all indicators. That's all fine and good, right? So you say to me, well, Shelly, okay, I gotcha. I've got them all, like all 3 lists. However, I don't know what to do about it. Well, I'm here to save the day is the way I like to think about it. So I'm here to save the day and I'm here to support you. And I want to share with you, I would not be here talking the talk if I hadn't walked the walk many times over. Many of you know I grew up in a very large dairy farm. You can imagine, my dad is a goal seeker. We'd reach a goal and he'd set the next goal. And my mom was right there supporting him. And we had 7 kids in our family and we're just going. And that was our life. Right? I learned very early on, good, strong work ethic, go. What we didn't do is slow down, right? So learning as an adult how to break free of that life a little bit, experiencing the loss and death of my almost 3-year boyfriend when I was 18 years old, starting college the day of his funeral. Can you only imagine the fear that I had within me? Can you imagine facing an experience no one in my family had gone through before? Not just the death, but starting college. So all of this happening at once. And I look back and I think, how did I do it? I always focused on eating well. I took B vitamins to support me with the stress. I cried a lot. I did what I had to do. I mourned, I grieved. I walked through it. Many of you know my husband has almost 10 years of sobriety next month. Yay for him. But the first 20 years of our marriage were not so easy. You can imagine having little kids, working, building a business, both of us running our own businesses and working through and facing the challenges that we had in our personal and our financial situation. The stress was real. Somehow, some way, I kept my cool. I learned how to not raise my voice. I learned how to balance myself out. I utilized everything I'm going to teach you tonight. I was nutritionally well. I supplemented well. I knew the importance of eating right, drinking good water, meditation, prayer, and I learned how to balance myself out from a supplemental standpoint using only quality ingredients. So what do you need to do? Lots of things. But the body says, I'll tell you what you don't need to do when you're stressed to the max. You don't need to reproduce. There goes your libido system. You don't need to digest. There goes your digestive health. You don't need to think, remember? There goes my memory. You don't need to heal right now. We don't need to make new bones, make new muscle, make new tissue, fight pathogens. We don't need to do any of that because we're running from a tiger and we are in chronic stress mode, fight or flight, right? And some of you freeze. I'm here to tell you there's a better way. We understand that there is real stress out there. We're not denying that. There is real stress. There is real fear for you, for each one of us. It's how do we make it through? Because we know there are stages of this. And if we can catch this in the early stage, so to speak, and support our body well from the beginning, we have a better chance of making it through and still being well. We have arousal, we have adapting, and then we have exhaustion. So if we don't nip it in the butt between the arousal and the adaptation phase of stress, we're going to end up with what's called adrenal fatigue. We're going to burn through our adrenal glands. And now we wreak havoc with all the systems of the body. Now let's talk about your stress hormones. Cortisol. We all know cortisol is important, right? It's a stress hormone. It's a God-given stress hormone. It serves a very big purpose in our life, right? So again, If there's a fire, if there's something chasing you, if there's, an accident, we have cortisol and adrenaline and all those stress hormones kick in for a reason. The problem is what's happening is we're living with that cortisol at a high level at all times, and it's affecting us in many ways. So it's affecting your ability to have a libido, to have a sex drive. Why? Because it's actually replacing, mimicking your DHEA, your progesterone, your estrogen, your testosterone. The body doesn't know the difference. In fact, the body's brilliant, because if this was just a one-time deal, thank you for shutting all those systems down so I can function well. But the problem is we're getting those little tires around our belly. That's a cortisol issue, right? That little visceral fat, that's not healthy. Long-term, that's very unhealthy. Long-term, that's going to breed more toxins into the system. The more fat cells you have, the more toxins that will be let into your system. We need to get rid of the fat. It's a big part of when we're stressed, what's happening. So less stress, more sex. So how many of you out there want to have more sex? Yeah, I know, right? Lots of us. That's your intimacy, right? That's your togetherness. That's a healthy relationship. So we understand that. We have products that support that. We have a brand new product. It's called a Isotonic Sexual Health product. If you're listening to this event and you want to increase your libido, I will tell you, feminine is great for supporting hormones in females. Prime time is great for supporting hormones in males. But the new Isotonic Sexual Health product, that baby works to increase the libido, the sex drive, the desire, the whole experience of it. And it works, and we've got testimonies from all over the world on that product. So that's one worth checking into. So what does our food have to do with this? First of all, stress-inducing food. So stress-inducing food and stress-reducing food. So refined sugar, table salt, processed food, junk food, alcohol, coffee. These are all things that are going to induce stress. So take a look at the list. Anybody willing to be honest about refined sugar, table salt, processed food, junk food, alcohol, and coffee, right? Many people consuming all of those every day. It's their regular routine. So when I promote any type of wellness, whether it be mental health or physical health, I always start by talking about the nutritional value of our food. So one of the things is dark green vegetables, avocados, berries, tomatoes, nuts, and plant proteins. Excellent for reducing stress. They're also excellent for reducing sickness. Nutritional support is everything. Nutritional support will help the body to feel balance and to adapt to its environment. Even the females I talk to that are going through PMS, when I get them onto a healthy food plan and some basic supplements, you'd be amazed to see how even keeled they are through their PMS and their menstrual cycle. It is amazing when you're in balance, the difference. Herbs work synergistically. They reduce the impact of stress. They'll have a normalizing effect on the body. They don't cause imbalances in normal health. They're going to restore the body, and that's what's key. So if you're feeling I can't handle it, they're going to bring you back down and help you adapt. And if you're feeling really down in the dumps and you feel like you can't get out of bed, an adaptogen will help raise you up. So it's going to help you adapt. So I want to talk about 3 micronutrients. We talk about macronutrients when you look at your plate of food. Having your carbs, your fats, and your proteins. Your carbs, your fats, and your proteins. Good complex carbs with fiber. Good healthy fats like avocados and nuts. And good, clean, lean proteins like chicken and fish. Now, on top of it, in addition to that, if we're deficient in micronutrients, it's very hard for our macronutrients to even have a positive effect on the body. So we need the carriers. We need the trace minerals coming from underneath. We need the micronutrients. So let's talk about magnesium, B complex, and vitamin C. When I opened up this evening, I shared with you that I think it's important we realize that during this conversation, this discussion tonight, the biggest thing I'm looking at is helping you and supporting you in your thought process of waiting until it's too late. Why do we wait for the label? Why do we wait until we have some severe sickness? Do you actually think the day you were diagnosed is the day you got sick? All of a sudden, out of the blue, looky there, I had a heart attack. All of a sudden, out of the blue, look at there, I've got an autoimmune disease. Suddenly, arthritis is there. Suddenly, I've got cancer. Not. Suddenly dementia, suddenly Alzheimer's. None of these things are suddenly. They didn't happen the day you got the title. We built slowly into them. It's a slow fade. And when it comes to dementia and Alzheimer's, I propose to you, there are things we can do to support the body, to prevent the body from getting so sick. So when we look at the importance of what's happening in the studies that are being done on patients with dementia and Alzheimer's, the importance of the micronutrients that are supporting the body, the vitamins and minerals that are supporting the body and slowing this process and supporting the body and staying clean. I will mention one I'm not talking about tonight in this discussion called curcumin. Please reach out to the person who invited you to view this. Curcumin Extreme is an excellent product to support healthy blood, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it will support the body in the detoxification process and support a healthy liver. It's one of my absolute favorites. But again, being I'm not going to have it in the discussion tonight, I wanted to make mention of it. But I want you to look at this article. Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia. It's generally affecting our elderly. Duh, right? We all know that. However, what they're discovering through many different clinical evidence studies that they're doing is that including things like selenium, vitamin C, vitamin E, transition metals, vitamin D, B complex vitamins, and omega-3 essential fatty acids, especially the DHA, EPA rich ones, we are seeing results. We are seeing results in the prevention and in the process of slowing this down. So is it just aging, or is it that we haven't given the body what it needed to fight what's happening? Healthy neurotransmitters, healthy mind, magnesium, vitamin C, and B complex vitamins, they are critically important to produce serotonin, meaning I'm calm, I'm peaceful. Dopamine, meaning I'm task-oriented, I'm filled with joy, I'm ready to go. Melatonin, meaning I can rest well, I can sleep well. GABA, meaning I don't feel that high level of anxiety that is sometimes paralyzing. Okay, these are all brain chemicals that when in sufficient amounts and balanced in your body, you are going to feel more calm, you will achieve good sleep, and you are going to maintain balance through stressful times. Doesn't mean you won't have any stress, means the body will cope through the stress. Facts about neurotransmitters. They're chemical messengers. They're not drugs. They're completely natural. The brain activity is carried out by the release of neurotransmitters. In fact, I will go as far as to say neurotransmitters wag the tail to humanity. Mental activity is related to the supply of neurotransmitters in your brain. So let's start out with one of the easiest micronutrients. And I say easiest because most people have heard of vitamin C. In fact, most people go to great length to make sure that they are supplying their body with vitamin C through cold and flu and infectious disease situations, right? Vitamin C is an essential cofactor, meaning it's a taxi driver, a carrier, in the metabolism of certain nutrients and factors in health. Folic acid, amino acids, select hormones. The benefits of vitamin C appear to be unique due to its antioxidant properties. I don't know if you all know this, but vitamin C is instrumental in supporting other supplements and other nutrients in staying and lasting stronger in the system so they can fight longer for you. Vitamin C is very fragile, meaning it can be destroyed very easily. It's very powerful when next to vitamin A. They work wonderfully together, very synergistically together. Vitamin C is a very strong antioxidant, can support the body in many different metabolic functions. Now, you will find vitamin C in the highest concentration in the cortex and the medulla of the adrenal gland. It is a cofactor in the production of acetylcholine and adrenal steroids. The lifestyle may accelerate how you use vitamin C. In other words, if you have a stressful life, if you are constantly in the health industry would be a perfect example, where you're always being exposed to things and the body constantly has to be working through. When you're undergoing a lot of stress and the constant moving through of these very fragile vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin B, you are going to need to replete this often. People who are under acute or chronic stress, people who are drinking excessively or frequently, people who are smoking, people with chronic immune complaints, you need to supplement with vitamin C, non-negotiable. Now, the vitamin C has a lot of different functions. However, what I want to point out is that the vitamin C I recommend to my clients, and many health professionals are recommending to their clients, because of the absorption capacity is the isotonic solution. Now, I'm just going to approach the issue and pull the elephant right out of the room. How many people out there are in a state of ketosis or doing a ketogenic diet and they're like, oh, that vitamin C's got 2 grams of sugar in it. I can't use that. I'm sorry, cut 2 grapes out of your diet every day and take a capful of vitamin C. Listen to me when I say this. The benefits in absorbing 90 to 98% within 5 to 10 minutes, the benefits of actually getting what your body needs to support it in being balanced far outweighs the 2 grapes you might eat on your ketosis diet. Please hear me when I say this. I am not saying don't do ketogenic. I am saying supplement with a supplement line that actually absorbs and is bioavailable to the body. It's worth it. It's worth the 2 grams. Now, I also want to point out it's fructose. It's not blood sugar impactful. It's not going to affect you as a diabetic. This is going to be a healthy way for you to be able to uptake a good vitamin C, actually absorb it into the body, proven by science, instead of taking some stinking cheap chewable or thinking that, if you take some pill that's a multivitamin, even though it takes 40 minutes to 4 hours to finally break down, and then you're lucky if there's not carcinogens in it, if there's not chemicals and dyes in it, if you're lucky enough to get a little bit of that vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin D that you took. I'm sorry. I disagree. I disagree with that system. I believe when you absorb something, it is worth every bit of the 2 grams of sugar you're going to have to use so that the product can be uptaken as an isotonic solution. Same thing when you put an IV into your arm, you won't walk into a hospital and say, oh, no, you ain't putting that IV in my arm. It's osmotically broken down like that vitamin C. Yeah, I'm not going to take that sugar in. Guys, come on. We've got to think realistically here and be real as humans. Magnesium is another neurotransmitter support. This one's going to help reduce stress. It's going to help you relax. It's going to bring the muscular system down. It's going to help you sleep better, go to the bathroom better. It's going to support insulin metabolism. Guys, this one is critical to support AFib and heart health issues. Support. I didn't say cure, I said support. This one's going to help in the repair of your DNA and your RNA. Magnesium gives neurotransmitter support to reduce stress, to promote relaxation, to support GABA, which is your anxiety marker. That's your neurotransmitter that tells you about anxiety. It's going to assist the body in so many ways, but if you're feeling an underlying sort of that internal anxiety and you're struggling to have good sleep patterns, why not try something so simple as magnesium? It also will support head discomfort. There is a direct link between stress and magnesium. It plays a critical role in the synthesis of dopamine and serotonin. 2 of your major hormones, neurotransmitters, chemicals, whatever you want to call them. It also assists in hormone melatonin, and it's going to guide you into a deep sleep. Magnesium, again, coming in the isotonic form, better than any chewable, better than any tablet, better than worrying about 2 grams of sugar coming in. Again, we can use salt, we can use sugar. If you had to drink down salt water, I doubt if many of you would do it. It wouldn't be palatable. So it's either salt or it's sugar. At least we use fructose and we use something that is going to absorb into the body so you get the results. Please hear me on this. The reason I feel so passionate about this recently is because people are bringing it to my attention and I'm sitting there going, okay, I can be sick and be in ketosis, or I can be healthy and still be in ketosis. I just need to cut a couple grapes out of my diet every day, right? So please hear me on that. It's worth it, guys. It's worth it. Let's talk about B vitamins, one of my favorite vitamins in the entire world. This is what saved me when I was going through the greatest grieving process that I ever had to experience in my life thus far. And that was when my boyfriend died in that motorcycle accident and I had to start college. I was in a tremendous amount of grieving process. I was in a tremendous amount of stress. I was in deeper than I knew how to handle. I was starting my first year of college around amongst a bunch of strangers. And I will tell you, it wasn't an easy time. Yet I look back and I'm so grateful to God for carrying me through it. I found myself in the midst of that journey, but I also found B-complex vitamins. I didn't want to go on any type of medication for some of the depression that I was experiencing. So instead I chose B-complex, and that is what carried me through. And I will tell you, B-complex are crucial as a fundamental foundational supplement. However, again, a lot of you are just taking pills and liquids and they're not absorbing, they're not methylated, they're not activated. I'm telling you, you're wasting your money and you're throwing it down the toilet. You might as well not buy it. Why can I say that? Because of years and years and years of understanding and studying and seeing gene SNP, DNA screening analysis, and understanding that 80% of the population has an intrinsic factor, doesn't even allow them to uptake the B vitamins. They also might have the MTHFR factor, which is a genetic expression that says, I can't detoxify your body. I don't know how to move toxins out, and I'm struggling to absorb B vitamins. Knowing that there's a great percentage, including myself, of the population with the MTHFR gene, with that intrinsic factor, doesn't it make sense it'd be worth taking a B complex vitamin, or at least trying something in an isotonic solution? The beauty here is that we know there's great deficiency. Starting as young as 19 years old, we've tested this. Over-the-counter drugs, the stress that they're having, prescription drugs, overconsumption of sugars, all depleting the body of their essential B vitamins. Now, I mentioned the word activated or methylated. This is key, guys, meaning our B vitamins that are going to support metabolism, mental clarity, energy, irritability, detoxifying in the body, digestive system, skin, nervous system, people who have disease states that are causing tremors or shakes or, things like MS and Parkinson's. Could we support the neurological function of their body? Yes, B vitamins can support that, can help with that. So can omega-3. B5, major role in hormone balance, adrenal gland balance. B5 is going to turn into 5-HTP. B5 is an excellent, with coenzyme A, an excellent vitamin to support the production of coenzyme A. B7 can help maintain blood sugar levels. B6, healthy red and white blood cells, mental function. I think I'm making my point well known that I am a huge supporter of the B vitamins. Folate, vitamin B9, or 5-MTHF supports nervous system, supports neurological function, supports good sleep, good cognition, mental acuity. It's associated with the aging process. Again, if you feel you're losing it, if you feel you're aging, if you feel your mind is aging, if you've been told you have early onset of dementia or Alzheimer's, or onset of dementia or Alzheimer's, does it seem like it would make sense to be using a B vitamin? Absolutely. B12 is another one. So the importance of supporting methylation, what this means is this B vitamin is broken down, as you can see, it's broken down into a form called quadrafolic. Quadrafolic, 5-MTHF, meaning it's methylated, it's activated. This way it can properly get into the pathways it needs to. It will be absorbed. It will bypass that intrinsic factor. You will still absorb even if you have the MTHFR gene. So this is one that is very important, and understand this is going to help metabolize and utilize the things you're bringing in, the foods you're eating. So you say, well, Shelly, I can get everything I need through my diet. Can you really? Because I don't know anybody this day and age who can, unless you're living in a different country where you're eating, where there's been no soil contamination, pesticides, insecticides, monoculturing, right? There's so many things. How about food being shipped all the way across the country, spray painted to look pretty, coming in on some truck, being stored in some facility? You don't know what it's gone through. Yet we've gone to the level of testing our foods in the store, and we are seeing extreme deficiencies, yes, even in organic fruits and vegetables. So I don't buy it anymore. 50 years ago, sure, I don't buy it anymore. And I still will argue, if that were the case, then why even those people that are eating healthy, why are those people getting sick? Why do they have dysfunction? Why do they have discord? Why are they burning through adrenals? Why are they developing autoimmune disease? Because it's frankly impossible to get what we need anymore just from our food. But can we absorb the nutrients from our food better if we have B vitamins? Absolutely, we can. Again, activated, comes in a powder, comes with a little cup, mix it with the proper amount of water, drink it down, 2 grams of sugar per dose. Okay, take your pick. Listen, guys, if you spread out 6 grams of sugar throughout the day, you can easily remain in a state of ketosis. Cut 6 grapes out of your diet for the day. Simple as that, okay? This is going to support you in so many ways. It is well worth it. I'll take this over a grape because it's going to do more for me. Helps maintaining good serotonin, good dopamine, helping with stress levels, helping improve your mood, irritability, energy, head discomfort, all of those things. Now, I want to ask Matthew Mott if he would join me just for a moment on here tonight. Matthew is somebody who I will honestly say I love when guys come on and are willing to share, because what happens is oftentimes we don't hear from the men out there. It's always the women. Women are talking about their results, women are talking about the things that isotonics have done for them, but men don't often share. And Matt, if you're able to come on, I know you were having computer problems earlier, but if you're able to come on, I'd love to have you share a little bit about what isotonics has done for you, along with some of the adaptogens, along with becoming lighter and taking up some less space, let's say, through the TLS lifestyle.
Sure, absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Matt, I can
Okay,
hear you and I can see you.
Great. So yeah, my wife and I started our journey using isotonics right around the new year. And up until that point, I was having trouble sleeping. It was lucky if I got about 5 hours of sleep a night, if even that. I was really struggling with depression and anxiety. Had gone to seek professional help with it. They had me on medications. They just couldn't seem to get them dialed in properly. So we started on isotonics, and then also supplementing that with a product called Bliss. And it really seemed to help my mood. And then also becoming more tuned into my body and what was going on with it. So roughly about, I'd say about 2 months ago now, we started on the journey with the TLS weight loss to combo into that. And it really, really has done wonders for me. I'm getting, oh gosh, I get 8-9 hours of sleep now a night. If I look at my fitness tracker, it's showing me that my sleep, I'm actually getting deep sleep. Before I wasn't actually even hitting deep sleep, and I maybe got an hour of REM if I was lucky on a good night. A lot of times it was 15 to 20 minutes. So with that and with those other products, I also started taking the sleep formula and with the melatonin, and it really, and I've tried melatonin in the past, from other companies, and it really didn't do much for me, other than make me kind of a little sluggish the next day. And to be honest, I'm down. I think when I checked roughly about 2 days ago, I'm down 40 pounds since I started the journey.
Wow.
Yeah, and down at least 2 pant sizes. And been trying on and starting to wear shorts for summer, and have to always go and grab a belt because my body has gotten smaller. So it's been a really good journey, and I really am a strong believer in the products that Market America is offering. It's just really good quality stuff, and it's made a real difference for me.
Matt, that I so appreciate you. Like I said, it's not often that men are willing to share. And I love this because this is the reality of what's really happening out there. Quality is everything. And Matt, I think you're finally experiencing the quality. And I want the audience to know Matt didn't walk into this thinking, yay, this is going to do it. Matt walked into this thinking, here's another supplement line. What is this going to do? Mr. Skeptical. So I just want people to understand Matt's not on here because he has anything to gain by sharing his testimony. Matt's on here because he wants to impact people and tell you, you have a chance if you actually use the right stuff. So I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you for sharing tonight.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. So one of my absolute favorite products, and I would be remiss not to share on this product whenever we're talking about mental health, mental balance, and slowing the process of aging and the mind aging. Fish oils are fantastic. However, what people don't realize is there's a lot of really raunchy fish oils out there, and I'm not even joking when I say that. See, what happens is they're encapsulated, and most often people don't realize that they're toxic. There's a lot of toxicity in them. They're from dirty fish, from dirty water, and you don't know the difference other than when you take them, you burp them back up and they taste disgusting. So again, from my clients, the feedback I get is, wow, for the first time, I actually don't get that gross burpy up taste. I feel like they're clean. Even if you bit into them, it's just like a clean piece of fish is what you're tasting. The beauty of this one, and why in particular I chose to carry this particular fish oil, is because it is a high level of not only fish oil in general, 3,000 milligrams or 3 grams, but 1.5 of that, half of that is EPA and DHA, which supports neurological health and brain aging, muscle retention, cardiovascular health, gut and digestive health, sleep hygiene, and weight loss. So what we eat has a huge effect on our physical health. But when and how much we eat, when being the key term here, has a huge effect on our mental health, our mood, our cognitive decline, and our learning and memory abilities. And anyone who is insulin resistant, insulin sensitive, gets that hangry feeling, or is diabetic can tell you I'm speaking the truth. Because when your blood sugar drops too low and there's too much time in between a healthy, balanced meal, you notice there is a fogginess, a brain fog that sets in. And suddenly you can actually feel down in the dumps. You can feel hangry, irritable, angry, brain fog. And that is because the body has left that level of balance. So omega-3 supports the body in inflammation, in stress, in sleep pattern. Of course, it supports the heart. And you need to find that balance between omega-3 and omega-6. However, what I'm encouraging you to understand when I speak here tonight is that the biggest benefit that I've seen with my clients with omega-3 is when it comes to anxiety, depression, people who have bipolar. And again, I didn't say we are treating or curing bipolar, but I will tell you, when you listen to your body and you take the amount that's right for you, people who are experiencing suicidal thoughts, bipolar disorder, manic depression, ADD, ADHD, OCD, these are the people that when taken in the proper amount, they are experiencing amazing results. And it's not me saying that. Look at the studies. There's a ton of clinical evidence to support what I just stated. So is it a heart health omega-3? Sure is. Does it support so much beyond the heart? Absolutely. Heart, inflammation, brain, neurological function, eyes, complexion, and joint health. Now, you say to me, Shelly, how do I know? Like, I feel overall, like I've got a really good friend, Carolyn. Carolyn says, Shelly, I've always been healthy. I really don't supplement at all. However, the funny discussions we have as women is we're not getting younger, and we might need to start considering a few extra things, because the body, as we get older, the digestive system is not as healthy. The hormonal system is not as healthy. Maybe we need then to take a look. Here's how you might know. Do I have any type of difficulty in my sleep, in my emotional distress? Am I having cravings, food cravings? Is my digestive system working well? Do I have energy fluctuations? Do I feel exhaustion or fatigue? Do I feel sort of up and down? Am I getting food cravings in general? Have I gained weight? Do I have that spare tire going on? Because that's a good sign that cortisol is, putting on a little visceral fat. Do I have impaired physical inabilities? Do I have mental confusion, memory, or brain fog? These would be indicators that probably we want to look at some neurotransmitter balance, bringing happy and calm back to the body. We want to support the body in its functionality and release of dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, GABA, and melatonin. Now, when it comes to nutritional stress support, there's something that I need to talk to you about tonight, and that is adaptogens. Adaptogens are herbs that are synergistically working together to help the impact that stress has on your body. They have a very normalizing effect on your body. They will not cause imbalances in your normal health. Adaptogens are herbal formulations that support drowsiness, mental clarity. They help you adapt to stress. They're going to support the body in both serotonin and dopamine, and certain adaptogens will help above and beyond that. The first one I wanted to introduce you to tonight is called Bliss. Now, Bliss is my, life just got a little bit rough. I need to take the edge off here a little bit. This is, I'm screaming at my kids. I'm losing it. I got too much going on. I have a lot of fear right now. People are sick in my life. You need a little calm back in your life. Bliss may be all you need. Bliss is an herbal adaptogen. It works very, very well in those situations. And I have lots of clients who experience great results with this. So ashwagandha and the rhodiola and other adaptogenic herbs that are going to help support the body. However, I've asked Kim Rainer to come on tonight because she has had tremendous results along with me with the ACTS product, ACTS. Now, ACTS stands for adrenal, cortisol, thyroid, and stress formula. This product is formulated at a higher grade than the Bliss. So why would someone take Bliss when they could take ACTS? It's really the only difference for someone in that decision-making process might be what they're willing to invest in their stress health. If I were to pick, I'm always going to pick ACTS for you. ACTS is a superior product. It will support more neurotransmitters. It is a better herbal adaptogen blend. It is the one that helped relieve those knots that were forming in my shoulders. It was the one that supported me in not having so many headaches. It is the one that helped me when times got tough. And I know Kim Rainer has had results with a lot of our different supplements as she's incorporated them into her traditional business, all about spirit law of attraction, life coaching. So Kim is coaching people on health and wealth. But I asked her tonight if she would come on and share a little bit about herself and why she believes this product is a good one to recommend for people. So Kim, are you with us?
I am with you. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Absolutely. I can hear
Okay.
you. I can see you.
Okay, good, good. So thank you for inviting me to come and talk a little bit about ACTS. And actually, I'll talk about Bliss too, because when my life is okay and I don't feel a tremendous amount of stress, I am a Bliss user. I do take Bliss and I get good results from it. It helps calm the highs, it helps bring up the lows, and it's an adaptogen, like you said. But for the last 6 months or so, there's been a lot of stress in my life, and I was still feeling the erratic, ups and downs of what was going on. And I could feel, the belly discomfort. I could feel I'm so stressed. I can't ever seem to disengage. I feel like I'm always on and I always have to be on, and I can't seem to calm my way down. And I mean, I teach this stuff. I'm a law of attraction life coach. I teach people how to disengage from stress. And there are just some times that we need more than what our body, that we can self-manufacture. And ACT has been really helpful for me. It has been, I will take ACT and I'll take a bottle of that and I will use it consistently on a daily basis. And usually what happens for me after I've had the product for about 30 days, my body settles down. It goes back to its homeostasis. It goes back to a place. So then meditation works for me again. And doing the other spiritual practices, getting out in nature, digging in my garden, collecting butterfly eggs. Now the butterfly season is upon us, right? Doing the things that I need to do to take care of my body. ACT gives me the ability to do that. So, now I'll be able to move back into the season of using Bliss. And if, the next time, because life is cyclical, the next time that something comes up and I hit the next bump in the road, then, I will have a bottle of ACT on hand. I keep it on hand because I don't want to wait, because by the time I need it, it's too late. Then I have to wait for a week to get it, and that's just messy. So so it's a cyclical product for me, and it has been really, it's really helpful for me. It's really
Awesome.
helpful.
Well, I so appreciate that, Kim. And I think it means so much to people because what you shared is so real. We're not just saying, take a supplement, be better. We're saying, utilize the things that are here for us to support you when life is a little bit more challenging, and then go back to the practices that have worked and that do work. And so if you want to reach out to Kim and talk a little bit more about that, by all means, you can find her on Facebook. You can find her Facebook page at All About Spirit as well. So I just want to talk as we're closing this out tonight about some techniques that we might be able to use. Sometimes just taking a break from your stressor, seriously, just walking away, because it's okay to walk away, guys. Exercising, including sex. According to Dr. D, it's one of the best stress relievers. I will leave it at that. Smile, laugh more. When I'm sitting with my mom, I have the most beautiful times when we laugh and joke and sing songs and watch funny movies and laugh at how predictable Hallmark movies are. And that's why we watch them. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And it almost brings me to tears because those are the things that make me the most happy in life. So we might be walking through a tough journey, but my God, the joy that we can find in that journey. Get support from people, meditate and learn how to breathe. We came on the other day and it was interesting because one of the gentlemen touched his chest, and Kim happened to be on with us at that time. And I said, "That's interesting, Bob. You touched your chest. And it makes me want to breathe and press down on my chest." And I said, "Is that crazy?" And Kim said, "That's not crazy at all. That's not crazy at all. That would be called breathing." And so we all took some deep breaths together. It's amazing what just breathing can do. Learn how to say no. This is a challenge for me. I like to serve, and I like to serve well, and I like to serve everybody all at the same time. And there are times where I now know that it's okay for me to say no, and I'm still enough for what I need to be. And my priorities have to be in order. So it's okay. So if I say no to you, there's a good reason for it, guys, because I don't say it easily. Make time for fun and relaxation. Drink lots of water. Eat well and eat balanced. And if you want to know what that means, then follow us, because there's about 7 of us right now on an amazing journey. We're collaborating together and we're eating so absolutely beautifully well and balanced. And I feel like we're all just doing so well with this program, and we're going to share that with the world soon. So in closing, Bliss, Axe, B vitamins, vitamin C, magnesium, omega-3, and cannabiquin I snuck in there because that little guy, for those of you who are like, CBD oil does it for me, well, we might be able to one up that for you. CBD oil, a full spectrum hemp product in our cannabiquin, but we went one step further and added black cumin seed because there's 30 years of advanced studies that tell us black cumin can support hemp in working even better in the body and vice versa. And we combine those two together, knowing it can cross the blood-brain barrier and help with physical and emotional support. Some of my free tips for you tonight: do a digital detox, leave the screens alone, give it a day. If you can do it a day, give it a day. Get out in nature, like Kim said. Dear God, she hatches butterflies. I mean, it's like, I almost go crazy, Kim, when I see you doing that, because I think, oh my gosh, it seems so tedious. But you know what? That is something that she has done since she didn't share her. I'll let her share her journey. You need to learn her journey, but that's something she's been doing for years, as she has created just a beautiful, beautiful life for herself. Have a morning routine, a miracle morning, move, mindfulness, meditate. I meditated right away this morning. It's the most beautiful thing ever. It was the first thing I did. Just me, and I've got my dog Buddha with me here at my mom's, and Buddha and I sat and meditated. I know his name is Buddha. It's hilarious, but it's true. Breathe, show gratitude, bless somebody, hug, hold, the feeling, the touch. We all need it. And if that wasn't enough for you, then maybe it's time to move that ash. So Dodie Ash, we love you. If you're listening in tonight, hugs and prayers and love being sent out to you and Terry. You guys are so amazing and so strong. And for all the guests that are on here tonight, I want to dedicate this to Dodie and to her husband. They're going through an amazing journey right now. They're one of the strongest couples I know. And Dodie has got to be one of the greatest team players I've ever witnessed in my life. She is cheering me on while I'm cheering her on, and vice versa. But I've been doing events on her behalf to support her and Terry as they're walking through their journey right now. And I want to tell you that tonight was part 2. Next week, Thursday, 5:30 Central, will be part 3. And we're going to talk about overcoming pain and inflammation as we start to age, and it will have a lot to do with moving your ash. So thank the person who invited you tonight. Send them a thank you. Let them know you appreciate it. Please give them your email. Let them know that, it was good to be here, and that you appreciated being here. Show gratitude to one another, whether you were the person who invited or you're the person that came to this event. We have a special offer for you for being on here tonight. We have a special offer for those of you who listen to the recording. You're on Facebook Live. All you need to say is, I saw that presentation and I was told I get a discount and a free sample. Would you send that over to me? And all we need is your email for that. And my last piece of advice tonight is, do less of stress. Okay. Do less of what's stressing you out and do more of what brings you absolute happiness and joy. Again, my name is Shelly Bowe. Oh, there's Dodie. I love you, Dodie. My name is Shelly Bowe. I'm a nutraceutical consultant. I am a product specialist, 23 years in the industry. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Dodie. We love you guys, and God bless you all as you're on this amazing journey. Hugs to everybody. Hugs to everybody. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the night. Bye-bye.